Hey, it's Ray with Sober Without God, and it's Saturday Book Review. And today we are looking at the ninth book in the Stone Barrington series, written by Stuart Woods, Dirty Work. And if you've been following this channel, you know I've been reading from beginning of the series from Stone Barrington. Stone Barrington is a character in the Stuart Woods series, and he is a former New York detective and turned lawyer because of a set of circumstances in his life. And now he works for a law firm and he finds himself in all kinds of interesting situations where he investigates crimes and saves the damsel in distress and helps his friend who works for the NYPD and flies across the country, ends up in tropical climates, and defends people and finds out whether they're guilty or innocent. He has a on and off girlfriend who's a movie star, and so on and so forth. I say he's like a Dollar General James Bond, um, but a little better than Dollar General because he eats and better than you, and he stays in nicer hotels than you, and his moral compass is broken. However, I would argue in Dirty Work, despite its name, his moral compass seems to be working extremely well. Even though in 9 books he has slept with 15 different women, he sleeps with one in this book, and it's in chapter 3, which is his quickest start yet. And it's a woman he met in the last book, and she comes over. She is British Secret Service. She comes over for some help to New York City and finds herself in a bit of a jam, and so she gives old Stone Barrington a call, and they meet up right away. And he's like, he found her mildly attractive in the last book, but as soon as they get together, fireworks. And she tells him how much better American men are than British men. Whatever. I, I don't know. Anyway, so they hit it off, and then he gets a phone call, and he's needed at his law firm to investigate. He needs someone to. They need someone to be a peeping tom to catch someone in the act of adultery. So he calls a fella who's going to take pictures of someone in the act of adultery. And while the guy's taking pictures, he falls through the skylight and lands on this dude and apparently kills him, but it doesn't really kill him. But it's also mixed up in this case that this lady he's sleeping with is working on. It's convoluted, it's a little crazy, and they get mixed up together, and their cases cross paths, and it's a case of international intrigue. And so it turns into a story that's kind of like The Fugitive, and I'm maybe dating myself here, but if you like the movie The Fugitive, so they discover they're looking for one person, one woman who is a well-known worldwide assassin, and she has been on the hunt, revenge killing British Secret Service agents for years because the British Secret Service and a small group of them were responsible for the death of her parents years and years ago. So it is kind of an edge of your seat thing where they almost catch up to her. She comes to New York, then she flies back to London. She goes back to New York, and they have to track her down and look for her. And they're right on our trail, and they catch her. In fact, they have her in custody at one point, and then she loses custody, and they keep finding her. Then they lose her, and they're on our trail. And even a couple of the characters have lunch with her and don't even realize they're having lunch with her. And even Stone Barrington agrees to listen. Stone Barrington agrees to represent her because he thinks everyone needs to have proper representation, even worldwide assassins. And the woman he's sleeping with, he stops sleeping with her because he says that, I don't think it's right that you want this assassin lady dead. It's not fair. It's not right that you should go out and want someone else dead just because they're out killing people. That's not how spy novels work, Stone. Anyway, it was a good time. So Stone decides he's going to grow morality all of a sudden. And so he stops sleeping with the woman he's been sleeping with since the beginning of the book. And if you're in for Stone Barrington sex scenes, there's one, and it's the very beginning. So read 3 chapters and you're done. But if you're in for a good spy novel or intrigue novel, you're in for a good ride, because this book doesn't carry over the same old characters that every other Stuart Woods novel carries over. It has a bunch of different characters, and it has some very interesting characters, and it's pretty well written. And it has a decent close to it. I wouldn't say it wraps it up with a perfect bow. I would have liked to seen it end a little bit differently, but hey, author's choice. And I enjoyed this one. Again, it's called Dirty Work by Stuart Woods. I would give it 4 out of 5 Stone Barringtons. And the next book up on tap would be Reckless Abandon, which is the first Stuart Woods book I read. And I'm going to have to rescan this book in order to give it a proper review. But this is the 10th book in the Stone Barrington series. And I'm also looking for good recommends for. I'm going to take a break from Stuart Woods for a while, because, like I said, these books were not written recently. This one was written in 2004. So I'm looking for some old books, from other books from the early 2000s to read for some book reviews. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying my reviews of the Stuart Woods novels, and I will see you next time on Saturday Book Review. Take care.